Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the INFOWARS Nightly News. It's Tuesday, March 13, 2012. I'm Aaron Dykes. Now, it is a different broadcast tonight. As you probably already know, we're on a, quote, pit stop in the INFOWARS Nightly News. There comes a time when every great crew has to reformulate, has to take a time out just for a minute to sort of coordinate the new dance moves. In this case, we're going to be updating a lot of graphics as we reach out for new talent, and we just try to pare down and coordinate the talent we already have. We hired a lot of great new reporters. You've seen them on the INFOWARS Nightly News since its inception. We've been working well with that team, but we're just going to update a few things and help to bring you a more consolidated INFOWARS Nightly News, so it's a better tool to share with friends, family, strangers, whatever. Now, with that said, we're going to bring you a lot of the oldies but goodies, just some of the best episodes we selected from the INFOWARS Nightly News. Tonight comes from October 11, 2011, and it's an episode dealing with finance, the Occupy Wall Street movement, the internet kill switch, and a lot more. Alex has two key interviews, one with Alessio Rastani, who famously said that Goldman Sachs rules the world, and certainly the facts and the corrupt influence are not far from that statement. Alex also talks with Max Keiser, who probably more or less reiterates that same point of view. Max Keiser, of course, was a former Wall Street insider and has been a critic of them for many, many years, saw all this coming, and along with Alex, outlined a lot of the ways that be looting, stealing, and more through this larger financial crisis. So those are important to watch. We've also got a special report from Darren McBreen, one of the great new reporters we brought on when we started this broadcast. And this one is on the Denver International Airport. We were there together and talked with folks about the strange murals located by the baggage area and some other elements. The report went so viral, even the Colbert Report on the Comedy Central channel had to cover it, of course, only to mock it and try to downplay it, but nevertheless, kind of shining a light on the impact those kind of reports have and the great intrigue there. Everyone knew something about it. Everyone was interested in it, and now you have a chance to see that again. There's also footage. You'll recall Alex gave 3 rallies at Federal Reserve locations in Texas as people across the country held rallies everywhere. And so Alex will bring you some footage from the biggest of those rallies in Dallas, Texas, the main branch there in that region. And Alex also talks with the father of an autistic child and the child himself about the vaccine dangers and the great harm and terrible trials that came to their family as one personal testament. So it's not an episode you want to miss, but I want to point out that we are also bringing you exclusive content while we're on a break, while we're reformulating, consolidating, condensing our INFOWARS Nightly News program, and that is the powerful, exclusive Dave Mustaine interview. It's going to air 2 days from now, Thursday, March 15th, and you don't want to miss it. It's almost an hour of things you've never heard Dave Mustaine talk about. For years, he's been in contact with Alex, has showed his support, but they finally got the chance to sit down in person and do a kind of long, thought-out interview. And he talks about everything, his old days in Metallica, where he was one of the founding members, things that happened to him on the road with friends and crew members and fellow bandmates and other bands they were friends with, political stuff, and a whole lot more. You want to check that out. It's 2 days from now, March 15th, this Thursday, on the Nightly News. But meanwhile, enjoy this oldie but goodie. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back stronger than ever in just a few days from now.
We're making history. For more than 50 years in this country, there has been no teleprompter-free news. Why is that important? I got stacks of news articles here, research that I've done, my crew's done. I'm here, a man with the information, with the crew, with the reporters, bringing you our analysis, citizen analysis, totally slanted and proud of it, slanted towards private property, individual freedom, a wild, wild west worldwide. Like, we want to take 1776, not just worldwide, but galaxy-wide. That's what we're into. Freedom, and more of it still. Well, this is no holds barred. We're going to be here for a long time tonight, but it's going to move fast. We have got Max Kaiser joining us with a big, extensive interview on a host of issues we're going to be talking to him about. You name it, it's coming up. All those bank fees that are piling up in the cashless society slave grid. I'm also going to break some of that down coming up before he joins us. We've got that stock trader, Alessio Rastani, who made all the big news saying that Goldman Sachs rules the world. He's going to be joining us coming up tonight. But first, let's get to the news and a bunch of special reports we have coming up tonight. We've got an autistic child and his father we talked to it in the Fed in Dallas. That's coming up. We've got a report on the bizarre, very dark, kind of snuff filmish murals that are all over the Denver airport. We've sent our reporters there. You keep asking us about it for years. We've been there. We tried to contact the artist to get answers. That's coming up. It's a jam-packed transmission. I mean, I got to say it. It was supposed to be a 30-minute show, and we've got stations and people already wanting to pick it up, but I'm sorry, it's just going to have to stay PrisonPlanet.tv for a while because we're bringing a lot to the game. We want to stay on the field. Kind of like that song where he's racing, he's plotting the course, he's racing, riding on his horse. He's going the distance. He's going for speed. It's the fact that we are into this, and I'm so proud of my little bitty crew always bringing more to the table, just like I do. Never shutting up because we got passion. We're real. I'm not taking some federal talking point and repeating it and regurgitating it and manipulating the population. I'm here letting it all hang out. Weeknights, 7 o'clock. And it's your subscriptions to PrisonPlanet.tv where you see it first at 7 p.m. and everything else is at PrisonPlanet.tv that funds it virally then spilling like a virus busting open a cell and billions of more viruses of liberty spreading out into the system-wide system. It is you that's scaring the establishment. Make no mistake, we're just the tip of the spear. All right, let's go ahead and get into the news. You know, it came out today that VeriSign, this has been the internet kill switch plan all along. It's not going to be total internet kill. It's going to be selective. We've already seen the Justice Department, same folks that ship guns into Mexico, cocaine back in. Oh, yeah, they've been caught. Fast and Furious goes really deep. They have said that they want to be able to just kill sites individually, and the feds are already doing it. And so VeriSign says worldwide, if the UN or a private group or organization ask to be able to shut your website down, no judge, no jury, no nothing, it's shut down, it's gone, goodbye, bye-bye. That's the internet kill switch selectively whenever the gods of the New World Order want to do that. But the good news is we're going to expose them, and as they attempt to censor people, it only causes folks to look for the censored information that much more. You see, freedom has a posse. Liberty's infective. And it's only when you bullies get out of control that good people go ahead and stand up and stomp your ass. I'm sorry, just thought I'd add that. But this whole VeriSign situation and the internet kill switch and the cybersecurity takeover system, that's only one small piece of the larger system. So that's what I want to talk about with you tonight, right now, is just a snapshot, and we'll do further pieces on this in the future, of what the cashless society means to our culture and to our society. When everything is cashless, when everything is digital, it allows them to surveil what you're doing, track what you're doing, but also tax you, and also increase prices on things that they know people absolutely want and are demanding. You know, you've seen Bank of America and now a bunch of other banks announce that they're going to start charging you for checking accounts. Just 2 years ago, over 75% were free checking accounts. Now it's, 45% in 2011. Even though they're using your money, for every dollar you have in the bank, they can loan out 10 or more. The big bankers don't need that anymore because they've got the tens of trillions of your taxpayer bailout money that they're going to loan you at interest. They don't need your money in the bank anymore. That's why Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and others are laying off customer service people. Service sector. They only use the crony capitalist free market system to destroy our society. Now they're done with that. They're moving on to the post-industrial phase right now. And we put together some montage of articles here where they're trying to force people on to automatic transfers, automatic payments of their paycheck. And again, as everything phases from cash being basically demonized and obsolete over to digital, over to cashless, now they can add all the fees for using a debit card, $5, or add it for using a credit card, $5, or add it for having a bank account. And this is a system where there's no underground market, there's no basic freedom, there's no anonymity or privacy. It's total and complete control over the whole society. And guess who is pushing the banker dream? Herman Cain. I learned, we'll pause it right there for now. I learned 16 years ago that the Federal Reserve had a plan and was promoting through Federal Reserve pitchmen and economists to have a sales tax and a VAT on top of an income tax. And then they had Herman Cain, former head of the Federal Reserve, one of their spokesmen, out of Kansas City, promoted for years. And they had Neil Bortz promoted, but always promised we'll get rid of the income tax too. Well, now they've admitted they're going to come in with two new taxes, VAT and sales tax. Same thing the European Central Bank, owned by the same private bankers that our Federal Reserve is, are now bringing in. This is a pure austerity tax paid directly to the bankers. Remember, they started the income tax in 1913 only for the top 1%. They used that 99 versus the 1% propaganda again. But then by World War II, it was an automatic withholding, but it was only a temporary war tax. But it wasn't temporary. And once they cut the income tax down to 9%, then they can jack it up later. They can jack up the VAT, they can jack up the sales tax. But more importantly, a federal surveillance over all manufacturing, all value added. I mean, in England, it's over 20% now. In Europe, same thing. They're just wanting to raise it now in Europe. That gives full federal surveillance over every transaction. You think the IRS is bad now, having to fill out forms once a week and all the loopholes and garbage? And then there's a sales tax over every transaction. They're saying the poor will be exempt. So you've got to swipe a card when you buy, tracking what you did. I mean, can you imagine the nightmare of bureaucracy? How about we get rid of the income tax that we didn't have until 1913? We got the income tax a la the Federal Reserve the same year. And 100% of it, even Ronald Reagan's commission shows, goes to pay for the interest on the debt created by the Federal Reserve. And so, of course, a Federal Reserve spokesman gets up there and makes a few conservative sounds and talks bad about Obama and says he hadn't lived the black experience. And Herman Cain is more of an authentic American black man than Obama. But the point is that even though Herman Cain doesn't have a Ivy League mystique to him, he has a very charismatic, kind of black, good old boy mystique to him, kind of like a Ross Perot. He is no Ross Perot. He is the former head, not some junior member, of one of the most powerful branches of the private Federal Reserve. I mean, he is a made man in the private bankster cartel. And he's up there going, I've got a 999 plan for you. And he says in the debate tonight, I know I'll be attacked on my 999, but I'm going to go after Romney for his socialist health care plan that Obama used. The Federal Reserve endorsed that. They've endorsed the socialist Occupy Wall Street movement. They want to collectivize and get everybody under their control and siphon off most of the money. And so think about it. Only some bamboozling fake conservative could come in and pose as a Ron Paul, but actually work for the Federal Reserve and deliver them that new all-controlling tax over all human activity they want. Two